Remember that scene in Avengers Infinity War where Doctor Strange saw over 14 million futures? That scene was pretty crucial. But according to the Russo Brothers, Doctor Strange's experience while using the Time Stone was horrific. Maybe he saw the tragic fate of Spider-Man in the MCU. Seriously, Disney and Sony, we're not feeling so good. Poor Tom Holland. He must be feeling like this all the time now.
You are tearing me apart, Lisa!
But seriously, what is so horrific about what Doctor Strange saw? Well, we'll tell you all about it, and how this shocking revelation could lead to some serious drama in the MCU with the establishment of the Illuminati and the possibility of a second civil war. In Avengers Infinity War, Doctor Strange used the Time Stone to get a glimpse into the future, and he witnessed 14,605 possibilities of the battle with Thanos, with only one future leading to the perfect outcome that we saw unfold in Avengers Endgame. In a recent interview, the Russo Brothers spoke about the scene from Infinity War, and they had some horrific revelations about Strange's experience while using the Time Stone. It turns out that Doctor Strange didn't just witness over 14 million futures. He actually had to physically live and die in each one of those 14,605 timelines. That's pretty messed up. Could you imagine living and dying so many times? Who knows what an experience like this did to Strange's mind? That's like Groundhog Day and Edge of Tomorrow combined in some horror freak show nightmare. Now, of course, this isn't the first time that Doctor Strange used the Time Stone and ended up dying countless times. We're sure you all remember the "I came to bargain" scene from 2016's Doctor Strange. We can't imagine the psychological toll all of this must have taken on Doctor Strange. If Strange had to live through over 14 million lifetimes and he had to die in each one of them in order to reset, we think there might be an even bigger revelation to come. Based on what the Russos are saying, Strange had to die in order to reset and return to the present. So this means that Strange saw everything that happened in the future when Iron Man snapped his fingers to save the universe. He must have observed the entire future of the MCU's timeline, so he knows exactly what's going to happen. He knows who will live and who will die, and even which new threats are coming to Earth and the galaxy. He knows every detail about the future, and that knowledge could result in some serious drama in the MCU. Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness will be coming out in 2021, and we think that this film will have everlasting effects on the MCU. Director Scott Derrickson revealed that he has plans to use Nightmare as the main villain of the movie. Nightmare is actually one of the first villains Doctor Strange ever faced in the comics, and he's the ruler of the Dream Dimension. Nightmare is pretty much Marvel's version of Freddy Krueger, since he thrives on tormenting humans while they're asleep. And it actually goes hand in hand with our theory. We think that Nightmare will haunt Doctor Strange's dreams and play on his conscience. All of that will lead to Strange being influenced by Nightmare to take action and use his knowledge of the future. As the Sorcerer Supreme, Doctor Strange has the cosmic responsibility of protecting reality. Back in 2016's Doctor Strange, as the Ancient One was dying, she told Stephen that she used the Time Stone to prevent countless terrible futures. And it's likely that Doctor Strange will follow in the footsteps of his former mentor. While Thanos has been turned to dust, there are still many massive threats out there, and many of them are far worse than the Mad Titan. So it's only a matter of time until the Avengers have to face him. Let's also not forget that Dormammu is still out there, and the Time Stone is now subatomic dust. So old Doc Strange wouldn't be able to pull his "I have come to bargain" trick again once Dormammu makes his return. And since Doctor Strange saw the future, he's aware of all those terrible things that are going to happen, meaning he can take the necessary actions to prevent those things from ever happening. Let's not forget that while Stephen Strange is now a full-blown Sorcerer Supreme who puts both Gandalf and Dumbledore to shame, deep down he's still a real doctor. Strange is a neurosurgeon who swore an oath to preserve life, and it's probably going to be very difficult for him to simply turn a blind eye to all the lives he could save with the information he got from the Time Stone. During his years as a surgeon, Strange was arrogant and selfish. He had the tools to help people, but he chose to operate on only the safest patients. His car crash humbled him and gave him the right perspective on life. You see, kids, apparently texting and driving isn't that bad. Sure, you might get into a horrific accident and break both your hands, but now you can also turn into a magical superhero. Oh god, no, we're just kidding. Please don't text and drive. Keep your eyes on the road and both hands on the wheel. 10 and 2. Strange didn't help enough people when he was a surgeon, but now as the Sorcerer Supreme, he can help everybody. With a nightmare messing with Strange's dreams and playing on his conscience, we believe that the Sorcerer Supreme will end up taking some drastic measures to prevent terrible things from happening. Strange might start manipulating certain events in order to change the timeline and prevent all the terrible things that'll happen in the future. And we all know that whenever you start messing up the timeline, something always goes wrong. When you think about it, the heroes of Earth and the galaxy were poorly prepared for Thanos. Sure, they might have known that the Mad Titan's out there, but once Infinity War was upon us, the Avengers totally biffed it. The only one who actually tried to prepare for Thanos was Tony Stark, but, Ultron happened, and we all know how that turned out. Still, no hero really tried to collect and hide the Infinity Stones from Thanos, or really do anything to prevent the events of Infinity War. At the end of the day, the Avengers had to react to Thanos, rather than preventing the Mad Titan from ever becoming such a huge threat. This could cause Strange to form a secret team that'll work behind the scenes, without the knowledge of other heroes and the rest of the world, taking villains down long before they have a chance to become real threats. Minority Report style. In the comics, following the events of the Kree-Skrull War, Iron Man, Black Panther, Professor X, Mr. Fantastic, Namor, Black Bolt, and Doctor Strange all came together to assemble the secret team known as the Illuminati. This team worked behind the scenes to protect the world in a way that even the Avengers never could. The members of the Illuminati made some tough decisions, not always doing the most heroic or moral thing, but instead going by cold logic, like exiling the Hulk from Earth, something that led to the Planet Hulk and World War Hulk storylines, which also didn't really go that well for Earth. And it's very possible that we could see a version of the Illuminati in the MCU. The team's roster will probably be different from the comics, considering that Iron Man is dead, and there's no way that we'll see Black Bolt in the MCU anytime soon following the Inhumans television show fiasco. Regardless of who ends up being a part of the MCU's Illuminati, we could see the team working in the shadows based on Doctor Strange's knowledge of the future. The Illuminati could be something very refreshing to the MCU. Usually, superheroes work out in the open, but Strange's team will work from behind the scenes, shaping the timeline as they see fit. While the Illuminati will be working to make the world a better place, not everyone will see it that way. Some heroes might feel like Strange is taking things too far and that he's misusing the knowledge given to him by the Time Stone. Not everyone will feel comfortable with the idea that someone knows every little detail about their future. Is it really ethical to arrest villains just because they might become threats sometime down the line? Plus, with the Illuminati manipulating the timeline, it means they'll be changing the future, meaning that the future Doctor Strange saw will become obsolete, and he'll be operating based on outdated information. This could create a very interesting ideological debate and cause some serious tension between the Illuminati and other heroes. In fact, it might lead to an entirely new Civil War event. Everyone loved Captain America Civil War, which was loosely based on the 2006 storyline from the comics. However, in 2016, Marvel Comics gave fans Civil War 2. In this story, Team Iron Man ended up clashing with Team Captain Marvel, following the revelation that an Inhuman called Ulysses Kane could see the future. Captain Marvel was all about using Ulysses as a type of oracle who'll prevent future crimes and catastrophes, but Iron Man decided to believe in free will, and that led to the heroes clashing. We could see something like that go down in the MCU, with Strange being the oracle of the story. And considering how great Captain America Civil War was, we wouldn't mind seeing our favorite MCU heroes clash again. Could you imagine a fight between Thor and Captain Marvel? Doctor Strange versus the Scarlet Witch? Black Panther versus Wolverine? Spider-Man versus Deadpool? Nope, that's right. No more Spider-Man in the MCU. We know that this theory kinda presents Doctor Strange as a villain, but that's not our intention. We don't think Strange will become a bad guy. We actually think this approach will make Strange a far more interesting character. This is also what made Iron Man so interesting in the MCU. He was always motivated by guilt and an obsession to make up for his past actions, and we think that this could work just as well with Doctor Strange. What do you think about all this? How do you think Doctor Strange should use his knowledge of the future? Let us know in the comments down below, and if you enjoyed this video, show us some love by leaving a like and subscribing to CBR. And hey, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.